So whenever you're getting ready to quit, whenever you're getting ready to, hang in the towel, you're probably only 95% there. And just because you had a bad day, you might just throw in the towel, or just because you had a bad week. I want to talk to you today about the foundational systems that you need in your business, which are the difference between success and failure. I've always been obsessed with the mottos and the principles and the systems and the foundations that the Navy SEALs have built throughout their evolution and where they've actually come from. And I was watching this one video a little earlier about SEAL Team 6, and these are the Navy SEALs that took out bin Laden. Before they were going on their mission, they were doing all kinds of planning. I mean, literally, they were rehearsing everything down to the detail, everything that could actually go wrong. So they didn't really have to think. They were just prepared. And when I think about that, it's all about preparation, and that's one of the foundational systems of going, are you prepared for what you want? First you need to know what you want, and then you got to figure out, how can I prepare for this? How can I prepare in order to get to the next level, in order to keep pushing through? And so they were going through all week preparing, and they kept going over, doing the exercises with the real helicopters, all of this. And they always would come back to the debriefing and they would say, what could go wrong? And they could say, well, a helicopter could crash in their front yard. And they were like, okay, let's talk about that for a couple minutes. And they did. And that eventually actually happened. And that could have been a catastrophic event if they did not prepare for it. They could have lost all their lives. The other thing I want to talk to you about is mindset. And I think this is really, really big, especially in business and even when your life is on the line. And the two Navy SEALs that were on this mission, they basically went to each other and said, look, why are we going on this mission if we know we're going to die? I just need to say it, I'm going to go, but why are we going to go on this mission if we know we're going to die? The other Navy SEALs turns to him and says, we're doing it because of that lady that jumped out of the tower because she was burning to death. She dropped off her kid. She jumped out to her death and had the decency to hold her skirt down as she perished. And he goes, that's the why. And I think all of you need to find out your why of why you want to do something, right? Now that you know where you want to go, now that you're prepared for it, now what's the why? That's the thing that's going to keep driving you forward. Then the next thing you need to do is think of a plan. The Navy SEALs were rehearsing the plan over and over again. So you have to have a plan. This goes even back to when I used to teach people how to race cars. I would go to people and say, look, we're going to go through this corner at over 100 miles per hour. That person would look at me going, you're freaking crazy. There's no way I can go through this corner at 100 miles per hour. And I would simply explain to them, I said, look, I have a plan. We're going to go through this corner. We're going to lift just slightly. We're going to turn the wheel. We're going to look at this flag. We're going to hit the brake with our left pedal just a little bit, and then we're going to make it through. Let me show you, and then you can go demonstrate it. And while explaining this plan to them and actually showing them, I gave them the confidence that they could actually do it. Then the next thing, the next foundational system is build upon what other people have already started. Look, the variable in the equation is you. And there's a couple other variables in the equation. I mean, that's why I've developed the Agency Playbook, to give you those foundational systems, to show you how to do it. But the reason why it works for so many different agencies, whether you're a social agency, an SEO agency, whoever, the reason it works is because it's designed to have you build upon it, to look at it as silver and then make your own silver bullet out of it, to build upon it. That same person and the same people I would teach to go through that corner at over 100 miles per hour would go back several times and they would adapt their own style of what I showed them on the plan. And a lot of times they would actually go through it quicker and they would be better than me. The student's greatest gift back to the teacher is for them to get better than you're actually, than yourself. So whenever you're getting ready to quit, whenever you're getting ready to, hang in the towel, you're probably only 95% there. And just because you had a bad day, you might just throw in the towel, or just because you had a bad week. It doesn't have to mean you have to have a bad life or a bad career or a bad business, because look, every day restarts, every week restarts. And if you apply these simple concepts of what's the mindset, what's the why, are you prepared, do you have a plan, and are you building upon what others have already left for you as clues? If you do that, you can be successful in your own eyes. And you have to be successful in your own eyes, not other people's. Look, stop trying to compare to other people. That's always the biggest challenge, and that's why we always get depressed. I wanted to give you those little pointers and just to let you know, like, look for those things. So if you're having a hard day, if you're having a hard time, look for those opportunities that lay out the plan, that can show you what to build upon. I mean, like I told you, that's why I've built the agency playbook, or that's why I've built the Jumpstart My Agency, right? And those are basically designed for where people are. So if someone's in a rut, under 300,000 or wanting to start an agency, I'm like, the Jumpstart program's perfect. It will show you the plan, and then you can build upon it. Can you follow it to the T? Yes, but you're the variable. You're not identical to me. And think about when you feel that you've hit that max, when you've hit that cap. The Navy SEALs have a rule, that the 40% rule. When you feel like you've hit that wall, you still have 60% to go. And if you've run marathons, if you've done any long events or ran for a long time, or you've hit that plateau and you're like, man, I can't go on, but then you find that second gear, that third gear. That's what happens. When I was going through the Ironman took me 16 hours and 20 minutes to do. I went through many places where I wanted to quit, just kind of fall, collapse, pass out, take a car back, van, whatever. But I kept pushing through. I kept going. And the same thing you guys can do too. Well, I just wanted to inspire you a little bit and just give you a little bit of rant and to let you know what you need to look for. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, have a swank day.